Kamala Harris is black.
This is going to get me into trouble.
Now, I keep getting conflicting reports.
You know, what time is it? What day is it?
All right, I'm gonna go.
Oh, good one. Good one. Yeah, because, you know, being biracial, that's crazy. We need things to be overly simplistic over here. We can't, you know, it's one thing. Just, that's it. That's like, you're already too much thinking. Already too much nuance for the fuck. No. So, Michael Knowles had Kirk Cameron come on his show to play a drinking game. So we're going to get into it. I'm Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. That was like his little intro clip there, so I'm just gonna let it keep going.
I'm gonna go with what I think.
Okay, now hold it. Don't tell me.
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
Place. Okay, this is just now. So you've got your answer in your head.
Yes, I've got my answer.
Okay, so the way the game works is you know, they read whoever's reading the card, they think of an answer. The other person on the other side of the table has to guess what they think their answer will be, and then if they're right, they don't have to drink. If they're wrong, they do have to drink. That's the game. I feel like I remember a different version. It's like similar, but not like, it's almost like, what is it, like the have I ever thing? Whatever. I remember playing something like that a lot at house parties, you know, when I was 23 or whatever. But like, anyway.
Correct. I would answer that yes, she is black.
Yeah, I agree, basically.
Yeah.
There are all these questions.
Then what is all this? Like, I don't understand what y'all are doing here then. Why is this such a thing? Yeah, I guess she is black. I don't know. You know, I just, by the way, we're the ones that decide if somebody's black or not. They have no, you know, what they think doesn't matter at all. It's what we think about them, because, you know, white people, that's who matters here. What do white people think about this? That's really, and the sad thing about that is that kind of is how it works, unfortunately, in a lot of ways, because people try to not represent the part of them as a person of color or whatever. And if white people don't see you as a white person, they're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, you can not identify that way all you want. If white people don't see it, then it doesn't matter. You know, they're going to treat you the way they're going to treat you, and that's all there is to it. Which is why we should support doing away with treating people differently, just letting people be who they are, and then just treating them the way that they would want to be treated. I know it's crazy notion.
We've been raised at the level of the campaign and by people in the media that she's not black. Her mother was Indian, and her father. But it seemed to me well established her father was at least somewhat black. It was an Afro-Caribbean guy's professor at Stanford. But then there are all these questions.
You are talking about this way too fucking long. Holy shit! What does this matter, dude? Like, it's just such a weird thing to get hung up on.
But
well, you know what convinced me was when I heard her speaking at that rally, and then the accent came out, and it was like, you know, you could. It just.
But she out the gate with the conservative fucking racism here.
It also, by that logic, might be Hispanic, because when she spoke at that other rally, she started doing like a Chiquita Banana impression, and she's like, "Hello, mommy," and so I don't think she's Hispanic. She's never done an Indian impression.
What is she? What are they talking about? See, I don't know all of the weird things that they're like obsessively watching about Kamala Harris. So I don't know. I don't watch Fox News, you know. I don't know what the fucking weird propaganda talking points are. The reason I clicked this was because the name of it was Atheists, COVID, and Aliens, Yes or No, Kirk Cameron. So the first word was what caught my eye, atheists. You know, that's where I went. That's why I went with this. But you know, apparently we got to start out the gate with the fucking racism, but whatever.
No, not that I remember.
She hasn't campaigned in, I don't know, the Lower East Side or something. She could get a lot of votes there. Okay,
this is a fun game. I like this game.
I got that.
This is great. But neither one of us have had anything to drink.
You make a good. Chin chin. We can celebrate that.
Because we can drink.
It's not that's not how you play the game. You know what? Forget it. Just go ahead, man.
We don't have to, but we get to.
Okay.
Now that we have taken a sip, are you satisfied with our drinking this? Are you good? You good?
How do you prepare your martinis? I'm just curious. Eric Metaxas likes them very dirty.
I don't. I like a touch of now.
Eric Metaxas. That guy.
Metaxas, I think, basically opens up a salt shaker and just pours it all in there.
He does.
Yeah.
You know what? He asks the waiter to just put the brine from the olive can into the.
Yeah.
I don't understand martini talk. This is a weird sidetrack here. Like Eric Metaxas is like the way he takes his fucking martini things. Okay.
I like it. You can see it's
I've literally never had a martini in my life. They have olives in there, and that just is an automatic, like, that's stay the fuck. No, that's wrong. That's not a thing that should be in a drink ever. So that's just already, James Bond, I guess, does it, which is probably what they're all trying to emulate, whatever. But it does not seem appealing to me at all. But IPAs aren't much better, so I can't really talk. I'd be like, that's gross. Like, your alcohol tastes like rotten vegetable matter. Mine doesn't, though. It doesn't. It all tastes bad.
a little cleaner. I'm a little nervous about cardiovascular problem. I don't need that, but I do blue cheese olive, gin, touch. You look at a glass of vermouth.
He has a type of olive that he's like, no, the blue cheese kind. The blue cheese kind. Is there a little tiny bit of cheese packed in there? Okay, well then I don't, if there's not, then I don't know what we're doing here.
From across the room.
Can you even call that an olive? Come on, get out of here.
That's probably
sufficient.
Enough. Yeah.
That's enough.
And although the problem is we film this show, Kirk, it's not 8:00 here at night. This is
now those are all right. Those don't taste like awfulness, really. But,
earlier in the day. So my producers make me have a martini, then the rest of my day is shot.
Well, that's the only reason I agreed to do the show and play the game against you, was knowing that I would have a little stimulant in my iced coffee and you would have a bit of a depressant.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so he's not even drinking, man. God damn it. That was like 90% of why I clicked this. Like, we get to see Kirk Cameron get drunk. I would have seen drunk Kirk Cameron, man. That's a good, that's some fucking content right there. I wonder how that conversation went before the record. No, come on, man. Just no. Put some little Irish cream. Put some Irish cream in there. Come on. No, I don't drink. I'm not allowed. I mean, I choose not to.
Does anyone have Zin that I can just start snorting them or something? Okay. I see technically actors who kiss other actors who are not their spouses on camera commit adultery. So you're answering for me.
This is being read like in the first person.
Yes. So this is what I think. Yes. Technically, actors who kiss other actors who are not their spouses on camera commit adultery.
Oh, I have to guess what you're going to think.
Yeah. That's the game. Yeah, I know. Somebody needs to explain this shit like pre fucking like what y'all are doing. But that's, I guess you're going to learn as you go. Now, he was an actor. This is kind of the funny thing. Michael Knowles was an actor who played a gay man in a show. So I would hope his answer is no, unless maybe that's why he gave up being the gay man on a show, because he was committing a shitload of adultery all the time. Like one of my, I think I might use it for this one. One of my favorite thumbnail pictures of him is from that show. And he's like, I think he's just wearing a towel and he's leaning in the door, of an apartment or something, or a dorm or some shit. And it's just a fun picture to use. It's just
your producers are good. They're making this difficult.
There you go.
Had you asked me 3-4 years ago?
Oh, he changed.
I would have said no.
Oh,
today.
Yeah,
I am totally
anti-Cameron
pilled on this question. I actually believe, I've had a little bit of an acting career, somewhat less successful than your acting career.
Wow, dude, that's a bad. That's sad. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you have to say that in front of cameras and people and everything, because that's just wow. Do you see who you're talking to? The guy with one sitcom and a Christian career. That's just sad. The whole thing's sad. It's really.
But I've played all sorts of roles, and I always thought, oh, it's you're living truthfully in imaginary circumstances, and it's no big deal, and doesn't. But no, actually, you're a composite of body and soul. The things you do actually do have
a composite of body and soul. What does that mean? A composite. Isn't that like what isn't like a composite like something that you like? It's like your framework of, but not the actual thing. Like I don't know. Never mind.
Moral impact.
How we doing? Is everybody doing all right? Feeling good? You feeling rested? It's Monday. Happy Monday. I know. Go fuck myself, and I will. I'll stop saying that because that's just don't say that to people. That's just it's rude. Really, it's just what it is. It's like that's why I always get fuck you when they say Happy Monday. They say fuck you. Okay, it's fucking Monday. Get the hell out of here. James 1, what's up, dude? Say let's go, and he put up the Brentley and the puppers. No. And Ways to Human. Hey, what's up? How we doing? Ways to Human said I finally made it on time for once. I know. Well, these things start randomly, so it's not your fault. It's probably mine, and I apologize. But thanks for hanging out. That's great. And check out Ways to Human's content. Got a lot of good stuff. Drusilla was third. How we doing? Said woo hoo, woo hoo. That's how you said it, just to make it just deeply uncomfortable, apparently. Tracy, what's going on? How we doing? And well, you were kind of like 5. I'm sorry, man. You're just, it's just, it's tough to put the number down and actually get it right because everybody's typing it once, and then your bid goes in after the other person on eBay, and then you think you got it, and you didn't. You didn't. It was just, and then you're just disappointed for the rest of the fucking day. Amber, what's up? How we doing? Amber's here, and Cognitive Echo's back. What's up, dude? Kirk should be drinking the blood, the blood of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, his Lord and Savior. It would make it much more entertaining. It would actually be more entertaining if he's just constantly got blood dripping down his face. It's like, what is my religion? Okay, see how it actually turns into blood. That's once it gets in your mouth, it transubstantiates or some shit, and blood, all of tastes metallic and everything's disgusting. But it's my religion. We're cannibals, apparently. Optimus Rods, what's up, dude? I'm at work, so I'll watch later. Just come here to say hi. Or say the Growing Pains theme song is the GOAT. Dude, I do not remember. I gotta go back and watch it. It's been so long, I don't remember. Lago, what's up, dude? Not too late. You're good. You're all right. You're in there. It's all good. Let's go.
And if you're a good actor, then you really are given over to the passions of the role and the circumstance. And so
did something happen to eBay? Do people not do that anymore? I don't really know. I feel like I was just a reference that I remember other people talking about. Like, fuck, I lost my fucking. I never did it once, but I remember just hearing multiple people being like, it got down to that 1 second. There's some secret fucking bidder. He's a secret. He doesn't let himself be known, right? He's not in the chat or whatever. And then all of a sudden, he bids at the last second when you're not paying attention, right? You're pouring yourself a drink over to the side, thinking that you're celebrating already. And then all of a sudden, they swoop in. Some secret fucking guy just at the last took my fucking bid, And but I don't know. I don't know if it's still a thing.
It's kind of suspect.
That certainly is what you attempt to do, and I would consider myself probably, I don't know, maybe probably below mediocre as an actor.
Yeah, no, we're good. Good. That's at least you got some kind of self-reflection going on here. No, but isn't that a rule of Kirk Cameron's now that he won't kiss anybody but his wife on screen, which means like he has to have her bad acting in every single movie he's in or something, or there just can't be a love interest. Is that how it goes? I know it used to be like that with David A.R. White until they got divorced. I mean, it's not funny. It's very serious. And it's very sad. But the guy that made a movie about how you should not get divorced, even if you're a relationship is abusive, as long as you're a woman, of course, but got divorced. But anyway, but he used to like only kiss his wife in movies and everything, and now she's still for some reason in the movies. Like she was just in the most recent God's Not Dead, but of course they weren't like a relationship or anything like that. And I think it's because she's still in the divorce. She owns half of the fucking properties or whatever, like half of the movies, right? Which is probably why they put that sucker out in the first place, so he can like make the money he needs for the divorce and all that. And she was like, "Now, fuck you. I'm going to be in this motherfucker," which is awesome.
I don't think that's fair. I don't
watch the Left Behind movie. But when I have done,
you just say I watched the Left Behind, but isn't that your movie, man?
Well, it was because of an acting coach who taught me how to cry on the spot, and the way to do that was very interesting, and it was very. You reach down very deep into your emotion,
your pocket, and then you pull out hairs on your leg, and it's it's painful, but it works.
Yeah. And you try to honestly believe what you're doing. If you're faking it, you can maybe pull that off once. I thought of my grandma who passed.
So bad. How you doing? Adam said car broke down, but at least I can watch you. Oh man, I'm sorry. Goddamn, car's breaking down sucks. I'm like terrified. Like my car was sitting in the back for like a year because like it takes me forever to do anything. So it took me forever to get the car fixed, and it's been sitting. And I'm just like, it's a ticking time bomb. Like I know at some point it's just gonna not car anymore. You know what I mean? It's just gonna all of a sudden just stop. But no, that sucks, man. Well, at least yeah, at least we can hang out. And happy Monday. Fuck you too, buddy. Fuck you too. Got it. Yeah, no, it's
away, and then you're done with your close-up. But now you've got a 2-shot, and you've got the other actor to give something to, and so you've really got to go there. And so, to your point,
you really got to go there. You're going to go there.
This is you are one composite person, and you really are going there. And one easy way is to just look to your spouse and your children.
What is a fucking composite? Like, what does that mean? I thought, like, it's like I'm like this close to Googling what a fucking composite means because I feel like they're not using it right, or I'm not thinking it right. What are these two things is accurate here?
What they think of you making out or sleeping with this person, and if they're okay, just throwing it into the box of, well, it's just make believe. There's something that it's part of you.
Yes, it's something that you really did, because you famously will not do this stuff on camera, even though you're a very famous actor. You say, "Sorry, I'm not."
I had to stop masturbating on camera. I had to stop doing it. And I had a problem. Okay, it was just it's addictive, really. It's just, and then sending it to people inappropriate.
Doing this. And I remember when I read or heard that was your stance, I remember thinking, but come on, or isn't that a little scrupulous or something? But no, I mean, anyone who's ever done a play in high school, even if you take acting seriously and you actually want to do a good job, the way, even if your co-star is like an ugly lady that you're not really attracted to, if you want to convincingly play someone who's in love with that person, you have to try to cultivate feelings of love. And so if you're making out with somebody, that's, your lips have really touched that person.
They really have.
Given you, and you've even given way in your desire and in your spirit to another person. I totally agree.
Yeah. It's interesting. Not even topics that I ever thought that I would think deeply about or would affect me personally. But then you find yourself in these situations, and that's where I think it's good, because that's where you form your convictions.
Yeah.
And then those convictions carry over into other areas of your life. Your children know these things. And without you having to even teach them per se, they say, "Dad, I saw how you were when I was growing up. I saw how you honored Mom," or "I saw the things that you did."
It's acting, man. That's what doesn't make any sense. Like, then don't work as an actor, because that's a thing. Love stories are almost fucking like that's like something that's in almost every single story in some aspect of or another. And you're gonna be like, I can't do any of those. Okay, but then you just limited your scope of acting like crazy.
That other people made fun of you for. And I just want you to know today, that helps me in the decisions I'm making.
Right.
Which is like such a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you're up.
Oh, really? Okay, like I said, fun fact, car is short for carriage. I didn't know that. You know what's weird? was I can't remember where I was, but they kept calling the elevator a car. I was like, that's wrong. That's not a that like that's I was like, you want me to go back out to the car? And they're like, no, idiot. The elevator car. I'm like, that's not a fucking car. Why would you label it that? What? Nobody has ever. What? Okay, whatever. Fine. I guess these are cars too now. I guess like anything could be a fucking car. I guess the whole floor can be a car. I guess, right? Like, just god damn it.
It's more of a risk to send your teenager to public school than it would be to buy them a motorcycle.
I'm answering for you before maybe you've even answered for yourself. I say you say yes, 100%.
100%.
It's so obvious.
Oh my goodness.
Did you see the CDC study? This came out a day or two ago. 1 in 30 American high school students today identifies as transgender. 1 in 18 is gender questioning. 1 in 18 American high school kids doesn't know if he's a boy or a girl. And then that goes along with all sorts of anxiety, depression, very high increased risk of suicidality. To subject your kid to
I don't know. I don't trust wherever it is he's getting his numbers from, but okay. I'm not really sure what like the point is. It's like, yeah, there's a bunch of the people we hate out there. I don't know.
To that. I mean, it's not 17 out of 18 chance, but a 1 in 18 chance. You are really rolling the dice with your kid's life.
By putting them in school, is that what he's saying? Because they're public school kids and 1 out of 18 school kids. And so if they let their kids go to school, then and not keep them home where they can do literally whatever they want to them without anybody being able to know about or stop them or anything. But that's their argument for that, is because they might, hey, the alternative is they have a 1 in 18 chance of being trans. Yes. I'm just like, wow, dude. It's crazy that the thought processes that go into these people just thinking about putting their kids in fucking public school or not, just because they are that terrified of their kids not being the gender that they demand that they be.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
And this is something that I've been leaning into a lot after I tried to read.
Yeah, it is. And it's a martini, and it's got but with blue cheese olives too, buddy. Don't leave out the blue cheese olives. All right, that's very important to Michael. Okay, blue cheese olives.
A children's book of virtue at a public library, and I thought I would go to the most diverse, the most inclusive libraries there were in the country, and I identified them by those who have had drag queen story hours.
Oh,
men dressed in skirts and high heels and fishnet stockings reading to children. Surely they'd want my perspective in their diverse environment, and they rejected me.
No, they didn't. He's just so full of shit, man. He went and made a bunch of demands and said that like the libraries had to pay for his book reading. Otherwise things aren't fair or something, because it's like he was trying, I guess the drag queen story hours are like, I'm not really sure how it works, but it has something to do with like community building and the whatever, like community building or whatever. So they put those on themselves. Well, he came in and was like, okay, then you, the library, you have to put this thing on for me and pay for the whole thing and provide people to work the event and provide all this other stuff. And they were like, no, we're not going to do all that. And he's like, see, not fair. Y'all are rejecting me. And they're like, dude, we're not rejecting you. You can pay the money and read your book right over here, just like everybody else that, wants to come and read their religious indoctrination stuff or whatever. That isn't helpful to the community, because it's a very isolating religion that's not part of teaching kids to just accept themselves and be kind to other people. It's not the same thing. It's you pushing religious propaganda. That's different. But he was like, oh, so they're not going to pay for it. So I'm the victim. I'm the crybaby. That's what happened. That's what actually happened.
And said that they were inclusive, and therefore I couldn't participate.
They had to exclude you.
That's right. Or that I wasn't the right color of skin. They were
yeah, because it's so racist. I'm a racist. That's
looking for authors who were of color.
And you're a white
It
man.
was
And
a
I'm
thing of diversity too. I wonder. I like. I don't know what he's talking about here. I'm sure it's nothing but like he's saying they won't let him do it without him being with him being a white man or whatever. That's not true, dude. Like it's just I don't know exactly what he's referred to, but like he was allowed. They told him he was allowed to have his room and everything. He just had to pay for the event. That's it. He just had to pay for the event and have the people. He would hire the people to work the event. He demanded that they do that, and that was what they said no to.
white man.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's just fucking
by the way, I was really nervous when I saw you at the Am I Racist premiere. I was nervous just not because of you, but just because I was worried that I was going to discover that I was actually racist. I might have been,
right?
Because I'm white, I'm straight, I'm conservative, I'm Christian.
You're full of privilege.
I'm all of these things.
Yeah,
full of privilege. I mean, yeah, that is literally that is a big basket of privilege, what he just described.
I've got 6 children. 4 of them are adopted. 3 of them are half white. So I might have 3 children who are half racist.
Oh God. Blood Badger said maybe they're so self-deleting, or maybe they're so self-deleting is because people like them won't accept them as they are. And let them be. Yeah, that's sort of their whole thing. That's why it's kind of like, when you come in here, you're like, you shouldn't accept yourself the way you are. You should hate yourself, kiddos. You should hate yourself and be my religion. Be like, hate yourself, and then we can solve the hating of yourself through my religion, which is a blood sacrifice that makes it so that you don't need to hate yourself as long as you think the magic thoughts. But yeah, whatever. It's like, Jesus.
I was
very, terrible against the other half.
I was against their other halves.
Yes.
I was very nervous.
What the fuck does that even mean?
This idea of public schools being more dangerous than giving your kid a motorcycle, I think is 100% true. Because
what?
At the end,
it's more dangerous than giving your kid a motorcycle? Are you crazy? What the fuck? Like, where do you get these statistics from, man? And again, this is like, it's like definitely more dangerous for the kids to be homeschooled by parents that have no idea what you're doing. Dude, there was like this family, and I can't remember what the name of the parents were, but they had kids. They homeschooled all of their kids. They had like, I don't know, I want to say like 10 kids or something. And they kept them chained to the beds. They said that they homeschooled them, but when the one kid escaped and went to the police, they didn't know what the word medication meant. They didn't know what the word injury meant. They were like, "Are you on medication?" They said, "What's medication?" He was like, "Medicine." And he was like, "Oh, no." And he was like, "Are you injured? What's injured?" Like, that was what happened because of this family that homeschooled all these kids and literally just trained them to their beds. The place was utterly disgusting. Like, and that's something that can easily happen if nobody's checking on anything. That's sort of the problem. But yet the public institution, not perfect, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely not perfect. But there are mechanisms in place so that we can fix problems when they arise. If there is some kind of harm that is happening to the kids at public school, somebody can report it, and then that person that has it reported to them can start making efforts to change whatever the problem might have been. There are mechanisms played. Homeschooling, none of that. There is nothing. If somebody is getting like graped by one of the teachers, because the teacher's their dad, who are you going to tell? Oh, because the dad's the principal too, and HR and everybody else. Who the fuck are you going to report it to, huh? But yeah, that's safer. That's safer for the kids than a public institution. Go fuck yourself.
End of the day, public schools have become so unsafe for children, in my opinion. My view is that they're too religious. Public schools are far too religious for my preferences. And they're so dogmatic. And the value of the sacrifice that they demand from you to their priests and their elders is just not even, we can't even discuss it.
It's so weird. Why do they have to use their own language? I would think that would all those things, they're too religious. They're too dogmatic. All of these things that they are, as far as like their religion goes. But they recognize how awful those those words are, and like those concepts, what they are. And yet, so they have to like put those words onto things that have nothing to do with those words to make themselves feel better about the fact that they are actually living out those words in a lot of different ways, but they're trying to distance themselves from those words. It's so fucking weird, man. It's like this crazy mind fuck of them trying to distance themselves from themselves because they're embarrassed to be who they've chosen to be and the words that would describe who they've chosen to be. It's insane.
And I think that they've created their own worship called secular humanism, which has become the church of secular culture, and it's the worship of corporate man or human beings, and they have their own twisted 10 commandments. I was thinking about this the other day. Now, I'm not talking about people who are genuinely struggling with gender dysphoria. I'm not talking about people who have
is that a thing? Oh, really? So there are people that genuinely question and have issues with gender dysphoria. So that part's real. They always do this thing where it's like, oh, I believe half of it. Yeah, I believe in adaptation, but I don't believe in that evolution stuff, even though evolution is just the logical conclusion of adaptation over time. But whatever. But now it's, oh no, the dysphoria is real. That part's actually accurate. It's the this other stuff that we do as a result of that syndrome or whatever we want to call it, that those feelings and things.
Same-sex attraction since the time they were 3 years old. Well, 13 years old. But I'm saying this was something that they don't perceive to be a choice. So I want to be compassionate and
charitable,
sympathetic and charitable. And I want to help. I want to love. I want to be kind. But these twisted 10 commandments, I see them. It's LGBTQIADEI. And if you don't fall in line with that dogma, that is grounds for banishment from their society.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. You look like a fucking very sane person right here. Those are their 10 commandments. How did that doesn't even make sense. Like how do you get from that to 10 commandments? Like those things are not related in any way, shape, or form. You're having to fucking twist your goddamn brain into pretzels to try to make it even analogous in the slightest. This is insane. This just shows you just hate those people. You just don't like them. And you, for some reason, want to throw yourself under the bus, I guess, and be like, because they're 10 commandments, or they have those. They have the 10 commandments, just like we have. Like, what, man? I don't understand their whole point here.
You will be canceled. You will be shut down. And that kind of mafia mentality.
And DEI is just like, oh my God. It's just like the, what is it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have those things just because we have so many different cultures in this country, and so many different cultures that have, they just have there's a lot of different culture shock that could be had among those different groups of people. And so we have like little just things at work and stuff like that, little workshops and shit. They don't do anything really. It barely cost any money. But they just start to help people understand other, groups of people a little bit better, just so they're not, stepping on toes, by saying things that are offensive, that they don't understand are offensive, right? Problem is, they have this propaganda that is like the Daily Wire and Fox News and stuff like that. Its whole job is to try to get white people to say things that are offensive on purpose, so that they can start these arguments, so that they can get their fucking white people to feel like victims. Even though they wouldn't have had to deal with any of this had they not been programmed to say that fucking hurtful shit, all for the means of like spreading propaganda and getting asses to polls to vote the way that they want them to vote, because fear and anger and hatred gets asses to polls. That's all that is.
Mentality that is dogmatically pushed on children in public schools is way too religious for me.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice, the hearts and minds and futures of your children.
Of course, it's a kind of conversion therapy.
Oh my God, they're just so fucking what, dude? Oh, just because your kid has to go to school where like other groups of people can go, that like your kid can't mistreat, and parents can't mistreat, and like everybody has to get along and go to public school because it's taxpayer funded and it should be for everybody, and everybody should be able to be treated equally in this taxpayer funded system of school and education. And the trans kid should be able to get just as good of education as the Christian kid, and both the Christian kid and the trans kid should be able to. I mean, it might be a Christian trans kid too, by the way. Like there are like anyway, but like like everybody should be able to get the same education that's good for everybody. And they're so mad about that because they're like, no, they shouldn't be allowed to go here. I should get my good education. They should not be allowed here. Like if they are, then I should have more privilege than them, and I should be able to talk, treat them any way I want or whatever, based on my beliefs that are more important than their beliefs.
Ironically, they say they hate conversion therapy, but it's a conversion therapy to their false religion.
I agree. Well,
false, like that's not how conversion therapy. Like, do they think that they're converting people from a religion? In like their metaphor gets so fucking jumbled here that it's so nothing makes sense anymore. Wow, dude.
Well chosen.
George Washington will be the next victim of historical cancel culture.
I do have a question for your producer. Does he have to be the next victim?
I think it might be in certain spaces. Like I think there's. I want to say there's like 8 to 10 states that still haven't banned it, but I could be mistaken on that. I would need to look into it. But there's definitely, there are definitely, those kinds of programs that people do. Christians do that type of stuff all the time. They just try to fucking frame it in a completely different way and, hide it and not say what it is, because it's banned in a lot of places, but some states haven't banned it. So yeah, I think it is still a thing. Oh yeah, please like and subscribe if you don't mind. Thank you. God damn, why can't I remember to do that? I gotta like start doing that at the very beginning or something. Holy shit. I see now why people do it like the second they start. Like, hey, the name of the show is like and subscribe. Okay, but the show's name is actually this other thing, but I gotta say this before I forget. Yeah, because my God.
Jeez, or just a next victim? Do I think he's the next victim
This says the next victim.
The next victim.
That's an important
Okay, see, I knew it. It's Ember said, "Oh, Adam, a conversion therapy corporation just filed a petition to the Supreme Court on the upcoming Tennessee healthcare ban case." Wow, yeah. So it's attempting to still be a thing, even though it's obvious. It's fucking torture. That's all it is. It's made up nonsense that's just like whatever some fucking lunatic pastor can think of how they can get the fucking gay out of a kid, or get the transness out of a kid or whatever, any just crazy, just torture, whatever, anything they can think of. It's just there's no medical science, there's no anything that has anything to do with anything legitimate. It's just whatever a crazy person thinks. And then they get to institute it in their little fucking whatever it is, their little therapy, quote unquote therapy. It's not therapy.
Oh,
very good question to ask.
Okay, I have my answer.
Okay, so you got to move my.
You got to play the game too. Remember we discussed the game actually that we didn't actually discuss because that's we just skipped that part and expected you to already know it. And now you have cameras on you and everything. I know it's weird.
He certainly will be a next victim. I don't think he'll be the next victim because he's harder to get. So I think they'll go after, if they haven't already, I think they'll go after Jefferson first. They've already done Columbus pretty effectively. I think they'll go after Jefferson
Columbus
first.
Wasn't really a founded. God damn, this is so stupid. All there's just like weird, just anger that like people are looking at the past with a bit more nuance and seeing that like a lot of these people that formed this country actually weren't the best people or whatever. They're not these like fucking historical superheroes like we thought when we were growing up. No, they actually did a lot of bad stuff. But Columbus definitely did that. All that guy talked about constantly was how easy he could enslave everybody. Like that was like, and we have his correspondence. We can read his fucking letters, man. We can see what he's saying. It's like, God, these indigenous people could be enslaved like that. Y'all want to do that? Y'all want to come back here? We can enslave these people. Like, that's literally what he talked about a lot. So he deserved, like, and then he didn't really, I don't know. There's so many problems with that. Like, there's so much, revisionist history as it applies to Christopher Columbus. But anyway.
Tried to do Jackson. They'll succeed with Jackson when they take him off the 20. I think they'll go after, I don't know.
What's up, dude? How you doing, man? What is that? I can't. That's a very angry red face. I don't know. I can't. I'm telling you, my screens are too small. Okay. I need bigger screens. All right. That's it. I'm looking at this on one of those Blackberries. That's basically just a Blackberry. That's, but they're trying to pass it off as a computer, but it's clearly a Blackberry that they just repackaged. You know what I mean? Because the screen is about that big. Anyway, but I get 20/20 vision. So if I squint hard enough, I can see a screen that's that big. It's pretty impressive, actually. I'm kind of proud of myself for being able to do it. It's kind of why I keep doing it. Anyway,
probably not Ben Franklin, though maybe he got a little handsy with the gals in France, according to certain reports. Maybe he'll be a Me Too.
Wouldn't that be you fucking canceling him though? Oh, okay. Oh, Me Too. Okay.
Victim. But Washington, he was so virtuous in so many ways. They'll get him for sure. They hate him, but I think he'll be 2 or 3 down.
Okay. All right.
But I'm glad.
Because like Kirk's like, yeah, I'm not into this part of the stuff that you're into, but okay, sure. Can we talk about Jesus? How about Jesus? Let's talk about Jesus. Or maybe the atheist, since that's the first fucking word in the goddamn title of the video, and we haven't discussed it at all.
When you asked that question, I feared you were gonna say, no, he'll be a next victim, but not a next victim. But I'll get at least 1 point.
Yeah. Well, with everything that's going on in the country right now, and as they're
at this rate, nobody's gonna drink anything. Like, what is happening? Like,
continuing to
the worst fucking drinking game ever, dude. You got to play that one where it's like each card has a different thing, and it's like 1, you got to take 1 drink, 2, you take 2 drinks. The queen is the lady's drink. But all the right, and then you got like 4, it's like make a rule, and then everybody has to remember to try to follow the rule. And some idiots and assholes out there make the rule no fucking cussing, and then I don't remember the rest of the night. That was it. That was all I'm out. Yeah, that was it. And then I wake up with penises on my face. Anyway, it's a fucking thing.
To dismantle people's understanding of history and the founding and the need for the Constitution and the value of the Constitution. And then we can, with all of the racism stuff that's going on, I figured Washington is definitely on their hit list.
It is. And he's a big scalp too, is the thing, because he's the father of the country.
That's right. And, I anticipated this.
Yes.
Not this question, but this issue. And so that's why I've made sure that I've prepared myself with my card here. Look, lo and behold, who is on.
They cannot help be like the cringiest people on the planet. Like, why do they do this? Why don't be in front of other people? And goddamn, definitely not cameras with this, the way that y'all are.
The front of this card.
This is your white privilege card.
Yes.
Oh, fine.
And that's George Washington.
And George Washington's got the white privilege because he's on the card.
Right there.
Yes.
So it says you've been a member, Kirk Cameron, right there. Member since birth.
Who would make that, apart from James Lindsay? Who would make that card? Like, that is the fuck. James Lindsay made that card for him, didn't he? He did, probably. Yep, he did. Oh, okay. Yeah, Kevin says he did. So I knew it. I knew it. I knew James was in there somehow. I'm not sure, but
makes sense. I'll cover up your card number here. I'll take note of it for myself, but then I'll cover it up here. White privilege card. This is it. The pinnacle.
Why'd you put your social security number on here, man? I just showed that in front of the camera.
Of all humanity, you have arrived. You hold in your hands the key to happiness, success, infinite wisdom, and power. You can do anything.
Talk about not understanding fucking white privilege. My God, it's so they're just so emotionally unstable. I swear to God, just like somebody being telling them that other groups of people don't have privileges that you have, and they're like, oh, that must mean that I can do literally anything, and I should be wealthy beyond measure, and I can do. And if there is any people of color that are wealthy, then that makes the whole thing not work. And my God, it's just everything they're doing is trying so hard to not think about anything and not learn anything. It's all just feel everything. I'm angry that you're telling me that I have privileges that you don't have, even though stuff's hard sometimes. Okay, I get stuck in traffic. All right, you know, being white doesn't make all the fucking lights green. I know. I would have thought that it would, given like the privilege I have. Whatever, it's fucking insanity.
Wow.
Is that not the most ridiculous idea you ever heard?
Where
in
do
your
I
life?
get my white privilege from?
And look at you see, and this has got.
That's got some.
All right, you look too spicy. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't pass as just like true white like this gentleman here who's got the fucking flannel shirt to prove it. You can't pass, dude. To something, whatever it is. I don't know.
Substance to it. So this was made by a guy, Joel Patrick, who I met at the
I know
Racist premiere.
Yeah.
And the idea that the left has bestowed upon you and upon me and George Washington such privilege, such power, such wisdom, such absolute advantage.
The man didn't
every
even
other
have
kind of-
teeth.
That's right.
He didn't have working teeth.
That's right. And as obnoxious and as ludicrous as this whole concept is, that's where they want to go.
Yeah.
Is to paint guys like you and me as these monsters. And certainly George Washington is got to be up there in their top 10 list.
Yeah. They'll go after Frederick Douglass soon enough. They'll go after Clarence Thomas. They already sort of did. So there are a lot.
I mean, he's getting a lot of money just sort of handed to him by billionaires while he's on the Supreme Court making decisions for the entire country that are supposed to be unbiased. But anyway, it's
a lot of white privilege cards to go around, even to apparently non-white people.
Even non-white people.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Now you're up. I want one of those cards.
Not white enough, dude. You need to go get the opposite of a tan, probably. I don't know how you do it,
I love this question. Nicolas Cage is the best Buck Williams of the Left Behind movies.
Wow. Oof. Wow.
I have my answer.
I mean, Nicolas Cage is the best everything all the time because he's Nicolas Cage. But his best performance was the silent guy in Wonder World or whatever it was called, fighting stuffed animals or whatever. That was the best movie ever made. I swear to God.
Okay. Let's see.
You're not going to hurt my feelings.
No, well, I'm just answering for you. I'm trying.
Answer
One
according
time
to the rules.
One time, Roger.
Not as though our friendship depends on this.
Sir Roger Moore once was asked who the best James Bond was. And he said George Lazenby. So I think your answer.
Who's George Lazenby? I don't even. Okay.
It's Nicolas Cage. No, you would say. No, he was not. The best was.
What are you talking about? He's got to be humble, man. Like I would absolutely go with, it's Nicolas Cage. He's a better actor than I am, and he got, when he played the role that was, I guess, 4 minutes of the other movie, that's all on the airplane or whatever. He did it better than the guy that's only done a fucking sitcom and Christian movies ever since. Like
Greg Perot. No, did I get it right? You think Nicolas Cage was the best one? No, you don't.
I think that.
No, you
You know what?
It's like I don't like this game. By the way, I feel like you're making me. I don't want fucking Nicolas Cage mad at me. Have you seen that guy? He gets pretty upset sometimes and shakes his head and everything. I don't want that. You want that coming from me? No, I don't. So I don't like this game.
Was there a third? Because I would say I'm definitely not the best. But
you're definitely better than Greg, for sure.
All right.
Without question.
All right.
I don't even know who the.
But that was my answer was yes.
Wow.
My answer was yes.
Why? Why do you think so? That's fair. It takes a lot for an actor to say this other guy.
I don't consider myself to be like a highly skilled actor. I got into acting when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
Well, see, at least he's got some self-awareness there. I just, the points for Kirk here. Credit where credit's due. Points for Kirk.
I was 14 and I played this wisecracking teenage kid, a hormone with feet, as they billed me. And I was basically just playing myself. Yeah. And while I love acting, I don't miss it when I'm not acting. I'm not pining.
Tuned in tight said white is a combo of all colors. No, I thought that was the opposite. Isn't that black or whatever? Isn't that like it's the white is like the absence of all colors or something, right? Like I don't know. I don't remember that part of kindergarten, but I probably failed it. I don't remember.
For an account.
I was homeschooled. We didn't learn colors.
Academy Award-winning role, and guys like Nick Cage, they've been acting their whole life, and
he's a Coppola.
Yeah. And I always thought it'd be great to have
Like,
some.
but it's like then it's funny though, because I could see why he's like struggling here, because it reminds me of that episode of Community where the whole episode was about Abed trying to figure out if Nicolas Cage was a good actor or not. And it's like he can't do it. Like it drove him insane trying to figure it out, because it's like he's all over the place. Okay, sometimes he's awesome, sometimes he's not, sometimes he's mediocre, sometimes he's an overactor, sometimes but whatever. It's Nicolas fucking Cage. Okay,
some kind of an I don't know, Saturday Night Live skit or something. Maybe we could do it on your show where like two Buck
Gary,
Williams
what's up?
walk into a bar.
How we doing? So, fair coloring in skin is a later genetic expression happening before modern humans were the only humans left. Huh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Huh.
Bar. And like I walk up to Nick Cage, who's just like he's sitting there with the martini. You know, he's drinking.
Would have been funny. It would have been awesome if like Kirk Cameron got like the Hunter S. Thompson, Johnny Depp treatment, and you got Nick Cage just like following him around for like a couple of months and just doing everything the way that he does it, and to the point where the guy calls you a weird little fucker who followed me around everywhere. I don't like it. I put my cigarette out and then he would follow me and put his cigarette around. He would just prance around everywhere and
his blues away. And I walk in and I'm like, what's the deal? What's the deal? You took over for me. They didn't even call me to do the reprisal of Left Behind. And you don't even believe this stuff. At least I'm a Christian. I don't know.
What is Nicolas Cage? Does anybody know? Isn't he? He's got to be like fucking. Is he Scientologist? Because that would make them more sense than literally anything at all ever.
So, I don't know where to take the script from there, but I thought it'd be a.
It's a good opening, and he would say he's living truthfully in imaginary circumstances. That's his. He's living truthfully in unwittingly true circumstances, perhaps. Noah's flood occurred before the Great Pyramids of Egypt were built.
Noah's flood occurred before the Great Pyramids.
So this is presuming that I believe in a literal flood, which
I don't. It was a flood of emotions. Okay, and I just,
as far as the premise of this goes, I will not confirm or deny until you make your answer.
Oh, okay.
And then that it occurred before the Great Pyramids of Egypt were built.
It's so dumb.
So, according to accepted archaeology,
which anything to do with a fucking flood is not.
Say probably that the pyramids were built after the Noah's flood. However,
they're rock, they're rock. Floods don't mess with rocks too much, they usually just flow right over them, make them real soft and smooth and stuff, but they, it's that they don't wreck them or anything.
I sort of believe that, now we're getting into real kind of this out there stuff. I sort of think the pyramids were built with the help of demons.
And we're back. Okay, this is a Michael Knowles show. I forgot. I was feeling like, why are we even covering this? And then he just goes full fucking demons built the pyramids. And I'm like, all right, never mind. We're good. We're good. Awesome. Yes. We all know that demons. That's how do you lift bricks that big? Demons. That's how.
The earth was extremely rotten, and maybe as one of the lead ups to the Great Flood. And so I kind of believe that the pyramids could be significantly older than is commonly accepted. Though there is this one strange fact. If depending on whether they were built at the accepted time or earlier, Cleopatra lived closer in history to the building of the Bass Pro Shop pyramid than she did to the Great Pyramid of Giza. Yeah. However, because I'm somewhat agnostic on the question, but I lean a little bit more toward the pyramids might be older. I guess I basically accept your point. Yeah.
Okay.
I do not score an extra point on there.
Okay, good. Well, clearly I need to read up on this particular topic because I'm not sure. I think
I don't think you should. Yeah, that's just going to confuse things that much further. Then you're going to have like 17 theories that don't make sense that you're competing with. But anyway,
I remember. I think it was Ben Carson. Wasn't it Ben Carson who posited that the pyramids were built to store the grain under the leadership of Joseph in Egypt because of the great famine that came upon Egypt? And I thought that was very interesting. And I thought, of course he was mocked for saying that. Yeah. But I just thought it was an interesting concept. But I didn't check in the dating of
well, that I suppose stuff. That would justify they were afterward. Yeah. And so and because the flood would have to be very, very old, like significantly older than the consensus of when the pyramids were built. And that's a pretty good, okay, well, you just lost a point for yourself because that persuaded me. Sorry, Kirk.
Sorry, I thought you said, what the hell is going on here? This is what happens when I join a Brightly stream in the middle. Yeah, I'm sorry. They're playing a game, a drinking game apparently, but one where like nobody drinks ever. About yes or no, you got to guess what you think the other person would guess to a particular question. I know it's very confusing, but that's what we're doing. That's the name of the game here. What is this, Michael? So we go after dead people while they worship one. Who go what? Because I go out. We go after dead people. I feel like I need some context. I've been looking at this comment since you put it up, and I'm baffled. I'm gonna be on. I need you, Michael. Where are we at with this? What do you say? I'm so confused.
You get to change?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Do I get to change, Ben? Do I? What do you mean I can't change? He just persuaded me.
Well, no.
Kirk just totally convinced me.
This is competition.
Wait, yeah. Well, if I were competing against someone, I wouldn't try to persuade him to take a point. Do I get the point, Ben?
I thought the point was marked.
Okay, Michael's going to clarify here for us. He's what he was saying. He said, "LOL, crazy Ben Carson." That didn't help at all, man. I thought I asked it. What do you? You know what, man? I don't know why I even do this. Like, I don't know why I try to. I'm just kidding.
Ben says I don't get the point.
Conversation. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. That was a persuasive argument.
The media's war on masculinity.
I don't think he knows what a persuasive argument looks like.
Is really an attack on biblical manhood. I'll repeat the question. The media's war on masculinity.
Oh, you're supposed to read it once you got to start over. Guys, the music hadn't queued up, buddy. Come on, man. Have you never been on TV before or something? This is the Daily Wire, bitch. They make movies, okay?
Masculinity
Get with the program.
Really an attack on biblical manhood.
What?
100%.
For sure, right?
Okay,
yeah.
For sure.
Sorry, I got to read it. The media's war on masculinity is really an attack on biblical manhood. I don't. Okay, I hope they can clarify this, but war on masculinity, because like the media's war on masculinity. I don't know. I just feel like masculinity is just not this one thing anymore. Like they try to make masculinity like it's this very limited group of characteristics that make you masculine. And if you're not those characteristics, then you're not masculine. And that's not really how it works. But I don't really feel like biblical manhood would fit into that, given that they didn't have truck nuts when the Bible was written. And if we don't have truck nuts when the Bible was written, what are we even talking about as far as masculine? I don't even know, right? Did they have monster trucks back then that could literally just drive over the rest of traffic? Did they have that? Because if not, this is going to be very difficult. Like, I don't see how they could possibly make this connection without the Bible having, truck nuts specifically. I feel like that's probably the best way. And gun nuts too. Like you got them on the AK, you put the nuts on the bottom of the clip there. You know what I mean?
100%.
My only question was, is it also an attack on sort of natural?
Al, what's up, dude? How we doing, man? So it seems like a lot of fucking weak ass folks trying to control people so they don't have to sack up for real. That's right. See? Truck nuts, sacking up, right? That's fake sacking up. That's not real. That's made up nonsense,
Not supernatural manhood, not necessarily biblical or Christian manhood, but
Thank
but
you.
even kind of-
I'm so glad. So we'll focus on it. So, biblical manhood, owning people, beating women, genocide of other people and their cultures, man stuff. That's brilliant.
natural, like pagan manhood.
There's no difference, but
Well, except think about this. I agree that the supernatural is sort of playing upon the natural. So it's not that they're necessarily in contradiction, but there is a kind of, outside of a biblical worldview, men could, be knuckle dragging troglodytes with a whole harem who are just pillaging and burning the world, have no sense of justice or don't care for justice. And the left actually kind of supports that masculinity, right? I mean, they support these nasty men who just pursue their self-interest. I mean, many of them are their own politicians. So
what? Like, can you give like any kind of examples or anything to like tie what you're saying to reality in any way, shape, or form, man? Just anything. I need to know what you're referring to.
But I guess then in that way, they specifically their attacks on manliness are an attack on the Christian understanding of a man.
the sense that I get is
what the
is
fuck does that mean? A Christian understanding of a man? What? Just have a bunch of kids and a bunch of wives? Which part of the Bible are we talking about? Because the Old Testament you have multiple wives and shit, right? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know.
much of the media wants to depict men as defective women.
Yeah.
We can just fix a few things,
Yeah.
and then you can be more like the girls.
Uh-huh.
And I think that is clearly
Thank
because
you. Blood Badger's fucking on it. The Blood Badger said, that's basically like saying the media's war on masculinity is really an attack on Aztec manhood. There's no fucking connection at all. What the fuck are they talking? I'm so confused. It's like, this is just like, I'm trying to tie together the two things that, I'm trying to tie my worldview with the media attacking something, whatever, or my perceived attack that the media has on masculinity. And I'd love it to be that they're attacking my religion because I just have to be a victim all the time.
There is inherent value to being masculine that is very scary to the left. And when you have men who are strong and bold and courageous, who are compassionate and stand for the truth, not fighting to be simply gangsters who are looking to be badasses, but men who so love their wives, children, and their God and their family and their future that they're willing to defend it with their own lives.
Yeah.
That's something that stands in the way of consolidating power in the government and advancing.
Emerson, more like girls. Do they not like girls? And the answer, no, yeah, they hate girls. That's just, I feel like, this is Michael Knowles' show. I don't know if you realize, and this is Kirk Cameron on this side over here. See, so yeah, the answer is they hate girls. They just hate them all the way around, right? They want to remove their health care, stuff like that, and force them to give birth and stuff. Anyway, but
Marxism or any other kind of ideology that would.
I would love to see him define Marxism. I would love that. I would love to see him define that one fucking word.
That would put these people in power. So I think that's where decentralization of power is the biblical model, and that model is dependent upon families, and families minus
decentralization of power. It's crazy that they are talking about it in a power structure kind of way, because the whole thing is that they want power to be centralized, and just the people that already have it get to have as much as they want and more, and get to keep accruing more and more, and there can be no regulations that maybe hold them responsible in the fucking slightest, and they have full right to wreck the environment, to rip people off, and if they ever get in trouble financially, well, we'll just take a shitload of money out of the government and pay off all the bankers so that they can make sure that they're not in dire straits while they put everybody else in the same situation. Anyway, but fucking
a biblical concept of manhood and fatherhood and masculinity is just devastating.
Right.
And
Right.
God bless all the single moms out there, and God bless those who are trying to do it. But fatherlessness is killing so many people in our country. And I think that we need to recapture.
I never understand what their solution is to this. And this is always just like a racist trope, it seems, when they're just like, oh, the people that don't have fathers or whatever. That's the problem, is that the fathers don't stay. And I don't know what the solution is to this, because most of the time, as far as I can tell, the fatherless, issues, like, that's a product of extreme poverty and whatnot. A lot of times, because money is just such a difficult thing to deal with in the lower rates. But at the same time, I don't know, what rich people get divorced all the time too. I don't know. I think they just put that down on them and say that it's that's the whole problem with America, is that people don't stay married to people that they don't get along with for the kids, and that would be better, not only for the kids but for the entire system. I feel like it's just, you're not thinking, like, it's one of those conservative things where it's just like, if everybody would just be better, things would be better. Like, why can't they just be better? Why just stop not being better? I swear that's like conservatives' fucking answer to everything. Well, if people would just work harder and everything, well, maybe they should have done this, that, and they're like, okay, well, they didn't. So now what? There is no now what. They shouldn't have done it. So they should have done the thing they were supposed to do. And so now there is no solution at all. No, it's everybody should. The solution is everybody going back in time and being what I think they should have been before they decided to be that. So
a right biblical natural design of masculinity. I love what Jordan Peterson said. He said, I'm paraphrasing, but
yeah, no shit, you're gonna have to.
If you think strong men are dangerous, get ready for what weak men can.
You're right. Sort of how I feel about nationalism. The libs attack
like, hold on. And Jordan Peterson is supposed to be the strong man in this scenario. He's not the weak man. What the weak man can do. He's he's okay.
Christian nationalism. You think Christian nationalism is bad? Wait till you hear about unchristian nationalism. It's a lot worse, man.
Yeah. And that's so interesting. And I've tried to educate myself about all these things over the last couple of years. And this, how do you respond to toxic masculinity arguments? How do you respond to Christian nationalism arguments? And women, I believe, want good, masculine, strong men, providers, protectors. Children need them.
It's so weird when you just say women want and then describe like what you think women should want. like women, there's just one. It's just all of womanhood. Like, that's just there's just one all of women, and they should want whatever you think they want. It's like, God, their brains are like stuck on simplicity, and it's like they just like broaden everything to the most ultra simplicity, and then act like that just accounts for everything. It's like, wow, man, there's like nuance here, man. Women are not a fucking monolith. Are you crazy? Jesus.
And when it comes to Christian nationalism, I think we used to, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that used to be just called,
you're wrong. You're wrong.
Christian patriotism. Yeah. We love God. We love our country.
Country.
My grandpa, he fought in World War.
He tries to like take it back. And this is a Christian country too. Oh, no, that's not what you're saying. Hold on. Let me take this back. Sorry, I interrupted. No, this is my bad. I have a problem with that. That's just bad.
Want good, masculine, strong men, providers, protectors. Children need them. And when it comes to Christian nationalism, we used to, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that used to be just called Christian patriotism. Yeah. We love God. We love our country.
Christian country.
My grandpa, he fought in World War II as a Navy
Christian Navy
corpsman together with the Marines on Iwo Jima. Yeah. So he was a medic that pulled the guys back on the island of Iwo Jima. And he would have been called a Christian nationalist. But
why?
You know who really hates?
Why? Why would that? Why? Nothing you described right then make somebody a Christian nationalist. I don't understand what do they not understand about this? Like when we say like Christian nationalism, we're talking about people that are trying to force their religion into into law by basically forcing other people to abide by their religion, their subjective interpretation of their doctrine, of their denomination, of their religion. And yeah, let everybody fight that out, because everybody's going to want their version of their religion taught in schools and shit. But they want that it shoved in there, and they want their religion to not only have the basis of law be nodding to their religion, respecting their religion, as it were, if you will, per se. But and other religions have to kind of like cower to, they have to bow down to the main religion, which is their religion. That's Christian nationalism. I don't know what they think we're talking about when we say Christian nationalism. It always seems like they're like, I want people to be Christian. Like, I'm a Christian and I like this country. I'm a Christian nationalist. I don't know. Everybody. No, man, that's not what we're talking about. For fuck's sake.
It's nationalists. And who came up with the term? Globalists.
Globalists really
Globalists, by definition, hate nationalists.
Okay, fucking. Okay, we got Alex Jones over here just coming out the gate. You know who doesn't like nationalists? Those damn globalists, And you know who's a globalist? The Antichrist. That's right. Who do you think is going to take over the globe? Antichrist. That's right. They're evil, man.
Because they want there to be just one great big nation.
Yeah.
So they're the biggest capitalists of all. They're the biggest nationalists of
They're the biggest capitalists of all. I think you messed up. I feel like you didn't say the right word there. That was a mistake. No, because we want the nation to be just the world. We want a one world nation. I don't know about that. I would like it if people would stop like genociding and warring it all the time and everything like that. Maybe if we could just get everybody to just get along, and maybe get the resources that people need all over the planet, so that people aren't starving and again being genocided and stuff like that. Like it'd be great if we could not have that happening. I don't know if that solution is to be like, we're going to be planet world now or whatever. Like we got the world government or whatever. I don't know. I don't feel like that would ever fucking happen. But having, things like the UN and shit like that, where we try to work together, I think it's a good idea. Right. But I don't know. It's like their idea, because they're so scared of the one world government. Nothing makes sense about their fears about this, because it's all like, if the world starts to get along too good, then scorpion demon monsters with faces of man and teeth of lions and crowns for some reason and long hair like women, and bat wings or whatever called locusts, they're going to come out of a pit. So we can't let this world be too friendly. Okay, we're going to have to keep blowing some people up. Is my point here. All right,
of all,
right.
They just want to be the only one.
Yeah. And they're like a little sort of atheist globalism. I don't know. I kind of prefer more of a Christian nation. It's probably a little bit better,
Yeah.
That's it. Wow, that is a psychotic face right there. Can we snapshot that? I want this face on a shirt, actually. He's like psycho right there. He's like that one laughing guy in The Hills Have Eyes. Just imagine that guy's voice with this face, just in your room, middle of the night. Just waking up to go get a glass of water and take a piss, and there's him. Terrifying. My God.
Where the power is actually distributed to families.
Yeah.
There's so much more to say. First, though, go to hallow.com/no. Incredible prayer.
Y'all don't go to whatever that is. Okay, sorry. I didn't, you can only pay the YouTube fees to take out regular commercials. I can't take out these whatever this shit is.
Seek to help for free. Join the challenge.
Oh my God.
Psychologically dangerous.
Okay. Sorry.
/Knowles for an exclusive 3-month free trial of all 10,000 plus prayers and meditations.
Okay.
Prayers and he's selling meditations. I feel like that's not very masculine. That's a masculine. You're selling meditations. Jeez, you sell crystals too.
Method acting is psychologically
BS,
dangerous.
what's up, dude?
To clarify our terms here, we're talking.
Yes, you remember what God did last time everyone was getting along. That's right. He was like, too much getting along. I'm going to strike everybody with different languages. That's right. That way, if they ask for a hammer to build part of the tower, they can't. They're like, a what? I don't even. And then everybody starts arguing, right? Which is probably could not be more conservative right there. Just, somebody's speaking, they're like, that fucking guy's speaking Spanish over the, get him out of this restaurant. Like, that's just very conservative of God there. Oh yeah, please. Yeah. If you don't mind liking and subscribing, that helps the algorithm. I'd really appreciate it. Because I always forget to ask. That's why the chat has to literally tell me, Brentley, hey, fucking do the YouTube thing. And I got to be like, okay, sorry. But yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Talking about the School of Acting, popularized by Brando and his ilk, comes from Russia. Very psychological. Some proponents of it are Stanislavski, obviously, Strasberg, Uta Hagen, Meisner, Stella Adler.
Yeah, he does. You're probably right. He does sell the beats. That's probably because he's like super Catholic. That's why I'm surprised that they haven't like had that fucking bar fight yet. You know what I mean? Of just Catholicism versus whatever the fuck Kirk is. I don't know. It's some kind of Protestantism. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. But good call. Yep, he does sell the beads, which, I mean, what are beads if not magical crystals for Catholics, right? I mean, it's basically the same. It's still magic, right? Wolfo said, Kirk and Mike are making me feel real Georgia Banjo. Georgia Banjo on the river right now. Yep, they should. Well, especially with his getup going over here. Like, that is just, he needs a banjo just permanently strapped to his back here, that he just flips around at random. Just, I actually know a song about that one, and just start going in that direction. But yeah. Oh, wow. Ember, thank you so much. Hell yeah. Ember said, do your own commercial to counter that. Oh, fucking yes. I see. This is why I'm bad at this. This is why I'm not, and you're right. To counter, what was their commercial? I didn't even see what it was. But, instead of whatever oh, that's right. He was selling the crystals and meditations. And if you want something that's better than meditations, and you want to actually feel real pleasure, not using magic, go to adamandeve.com and buy dildos and vibrators and lube and all the stuff that makes you feel amazing. You'll never need to meditate again on any garbage prayer nonsense, whatever he's fucking selling. Go to adamandeve.com and enter code word Brentley and check out to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Let's go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley at checkout. All right. Thanks, Amber. That was good. I was, y'all are keeping me on top of shit today. I'm not, I'm quite, like my ADHD, I forget stuff. It's weird. I don't know.
At school in the 20th century where, you're really, I don't know, you're really in your own head.
And it is psychologically dangerous.
Fucking what? Method acting is psychologically dangerous. Okay. I wonder if he's going to be like, yeah, because of the demons. The acting demons that you ask to inhabit your body, you get too used to playing somebody else, and then you basically, that's just like testing ground for the demons, and now they can just come in and you just keep on method acting forever, except you're just a demon. That's it.
You're answering for me.
Oh, I'm answering for you. Sorry, I was on the other side of the game.
What's in this coffee?
Yeah, I know. I think Ben might have put a little Tennessee whiskey in there for me.
For sure. It seems to me.
What was it? Yes, he said yes. So I wasn't paying attention. I was reading. Reading the chat here. Shit.
I'm sure you've met. Well, you've run in actually kind of circles with nice actors, but I'm sure you've met a lot of crazy ones too. The vast majority, even of really good people I like in show business, the vast majority of them, especially who engage in modern acting techniques, are completely insane, completely nuts. And they sort of have to be, because I had an acting teacher once. Great acting teacher. Was assistant for Meisner back in the 50s. Was very much involved in this kind of acting.
I remember, what was it? I think it was, wasn't it like Jack? This might not be true, actually. You know, I'm just gonna put that out there. But I remember hearing that Jack Nicholson warned Heath Ledger that playing the Joker does something to you, and to be careful or something like that, and like method acting, the Joker can like mess you up or something. Not saying that's. I'm just saying it's sort of relevant, I think, to what they're. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. What am I doing? I don't know.
And he said, to be an actor, you have to be a gullible fool because you have to.
Well, then you're good. Then you're dead. You need to go back to acting then. And Kirk, are you fucking kidding me? It's going to be the master now.
Believe the circumstances of the play or movie or whatever. And so if you're constantly giving yourself over to all of these other circumstances, personalities, desires, objectives, all this stuff, it kind of twists your mind a little.
It messes with you.
It does, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've never studied Meisner. I've never studied
pretending to be someone else in front of cameras so that people can enjoy watching a story played out. Really? That's dangerous. You twist your mind all up. Yeah, that's what I do. No, man, your religion. Test. I hit the thing. But your religion is what twists people's minds up and everything, and makes it so that anybody can manipulate them. Because as long as you can point to the thing they've already decided that they believe without question, you can point to that and go, well, then you got to think this over here too, because you've already decided to believe that without question. And that's what I get to use to fuck with you. That's how you get your manipulation going. That's why you shouldn't just have dogmatic beliefs like that you refuse to question, and that you should, that people can use to manipulate. But hey, thank you all so much for hanging out. I didn't realize how late it got. This was a bit longer than I thought. I am gonna for this one, I want to continue this one for the members only on Wednesday. We are gonna do members only this week, and so this Wednesday, gonna finish this one up. Anyway, I'm going to put out a poll, but it's either between this one and another one that's really funny. Jesse Lee Peterson had fucking Tommy Chong on his show. So we got to watch that at some point. I don't know how we're going to do it or when we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. So, but thank y'all so much for hanging out. Let's see. Oh, and if you want to play with things hanging out, go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brentley, like we were just talking about, because I am so late on my fucking ads. They're going to drop me at some point here. But go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brentley at checkout, BRENTLY at checkout, and get your exclusive offer. That's right. And if you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and entering that code word Brentley at checkout, or you can do a bunch of other shit, right? There's the Patreon, if you want to do that. You can just do a one-time payment on Cash App. Our cash tag is Punk Apostate. You can hit that join button and become a member, right? And you get extra content every week. And if you want to email me, you can email me if I'm ever doing or saying anything, or I don't know, promoting stuff that I'm not supposed to, or in a way that I'm not supposed to. I have a fucking email. You can always just email me and let me know when I'm not promoting stuff correctly or whatever. It's not difficult. It's crazy. It's like right there in the list that you got upset with. Anyway, or you could go on Discord, right, and hang out there, and follow me on all the socials, and I got all the links below. All right, thank y'all so much for hanging out. This is a lot of fun. And hey, the main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate, and we will see you next time. Hey, Kirk, I was wondering if you